Good evening, everyone. We're going to wait just a few minutes to allow more people to arrive. If you are having trouble at this time seeing my screen, please go ahead and put that in the comment section under the questions to your right-hand side. So we'll get started in a few minutes. All right, good evening. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Marla Williams, and I am the Director of Education and Training. I wanted to do just a quick hand pull to make sure that the audio is working okay. If you can hear me, if you can please raise your hand. You'll find that on your dashboard over to the right. Great, wonderful. Thank you so much for letting me know that all seems to be working with our audio. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started this evening. So welcome to the Every Member Education and the New Member Experience webinar. Again, my name is Marla Williams, and I'm the Director of Education and Training for Kappa Kappa Gamma headquarters. First, I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to join me this evening to learn more about what Every Member Education is, how this will impact the new member experience, and what your role will be in this process.
Hi, Marla.
All right. Joining us this evening is also Livy Vinylek and Caroline Washnock, who work at Kappa headquarters in chapter services. So later this evening, as we take questions and answers, they will also be participating in speaking with you and answering your questions. All right, so what we're going to talk about tonight is what exactly is Every Member Education. We're going to be taking a look at Kappa's defined stages of membership. We'll talk about the pillars of education and how these core educational values will help to drive the education we provide for all members. We will also talk about the new member experiences, the changes to this program, essentially the what's new, what you need to do to make this work for your new members, and how these changes will make your job and the job of your chapter officers easier. Then finally, we'll have time for you to ask questions and get some answers. At convention this past June, Beth Black, fraternity president, shared this following inspiration with us. Our greatest hope is that we can move forward together, remembering that in union there is strength, respecting each other regardless of the outcome of our decision, and embracing our ideals and values, always seeking the beautiful and the good. In the spirit of moving forward, we are excited to launch Kappa's Every Member Education. Every Member Education provides the foundation on which members of Kappa Kappa Gamma build their educational knowledge and live out the core educational values of the fraternity. Every Member Education is designed to provide each member with the education they need throughout each stage of their membership. First, we're going to talk about the stages of membership. The following are the stages of Kappa membership: new member, middle member, senior member, and alumna member. Up until now, the new member stage has always been defined as the membership time between formal pledging and initiation. To align with what we know the educational needs of our newest members of the organization are, Kappa has redefined the definition of a new member. So this is very new. The new member stage begins at formal pledging and ends after your first year of membership. This does not mean that the 6 to 8 week outline between formal pledging and initiation goes away. This is still the same. What it does mean is that after initiation, these newest members of the organization will still receive specific programming and education that will help them as they develop an understanding of themselves and their relationship to the chapter and Kappa Kappa Gamma fraternity. This shift of definition really allows us to focus equally on providing essential and valuable education prior to initiation, but also continue to develop and nurture these newest members of our organization. After new member, we move to the middle member stage. This stage begins after the new member experience and ends at the start of your senior year. Middle members develop leadership skills that can be used to impact and improve their chapter and campus community. Senior member begins at the start of your senior year, and it ends when you transition to alumna status after graduation. Senior members are developing mentoring skills and connecting to their community by actively working to benefit others through care, service, work, social responsibility, and community involvement. Senior members are exploring the benefits of alumna membership and their impact on the greater fraternity. Then we move to the alumna member. Once a member graduates from college, she enters a stage of her life where she's starting new careers, experiencing changes within her family, developing new relationships outside of her collegiate experience, and exploring new alumna membership opportunities. Around her 5th year as an alumna, she becomes more focused on expanding her leadership opportunities within her community in Kappa Kappa Gamma, while still furthering developing her career, relationships, and families. When a member begins to phase into her retirement years, she also may explore new ways to define herself and have more time to pursue new passions and interests while creating lasting legacies. So the pillars of education. Throughout these stages of membership, Kappa will focus on 7 defined educational core values known as our pillars of education. This is also new for the organization and will help to focus our educational endeavors to meet the needs of all members. As you can see, our pillars of education are defined as leadership, sisterhood, intellectual development, well-being, community responsibility, human dignity, and heritage. All right, so now we're moving into talking about the new member experience, which I know a lot of you on the phone tonight as new member chairman are eager to hear more about. As part of Kappa's Every Member Education, this fall we will be launching the new member experience, which provides every new member with a comprehensive year-long education experience from the moment they attend bid day until the end of their first year as a member of the organization. We are no longer calling it a new member period or new member program, which occurs only from formal pledging to initiation. This is now a new member experience where member development occurs throughout the year, not just during the 6 to 8 weeks prior to initiation. Programming for the new member experience is clearly outlined in a specially designed guidebook, which we will talk about in a few minutes, to ensure the chapter is able to provide consistent and valuable educational opportunities for the new member. This will make the first year of membership memorable, relevant, and meaningful. As a new member chairman, you are instrumental in setting the tone to create a valuable and successful new member experience. The time and attention you put into the orientation, preparation, and education for new members prior to initiation will ensure that each new member understands the initiation requirements and is fully prepared for active membership. Prior to this year, the new member chairman and chapter officers were solely responsible for the planning and presenting of all content to new members. So starting this year, the new member experience will combine in-person new member meetings with online courses for your new members, so there is less for the new member chairman and chapter officers to prepare and present. The online courses will provide fraternity-wide consistent information while leaving the new member meetings to cover chapter and campus-specific information and answer questions regarding the online course content. In-person new member meetings become less rushed, streamlined, and really more focused on developing relationships and a strong sense of sisterhood with your new members. Today we're going to walk through all the components that make up the new member experience so that you can know exactly what is expected of you and how this will ultimately be easier for you, your chapter officers, and new members alike. And just to assure you, we will have plenty of time at the end tonight for you to ask questions. I ask for you just to wait for me to answer your questions until I've gone through all the material, because some of your questions might be answered as we move along. So one thing we are very excited to reveal is the keepsake book called Aspirations that has been created and designed specifically for the new member experience. These keepsake books, Aspirations, will be sent to each chapter to be distributed to all new members at formal pledging. You should instruct each new member to bring this book with them to all new member meetings. So please note that Aspirations, the keepsake book, actually replaces the Kappa notebook. This past spring, you would have submitted the total number of Kappa notebooks that you would need for your fall recruitment. Rest assured, we have those numbers, and those are the numbers we will use in determining how many keepsake books will be sent to your chapter. As I mentioned earlier, the new member experience is comprised of online course topics which align with new member meetings. These tools will help you plan and facilitate these meetings and online courses, and are written in your guidebook, leadership guide, Every Member Education online portal, known as the EME, and in-person meetings. So let's take a look at each of these tools a little bit more in depth. First and foremost, your leadership guide. Your leadership guide is located in the New Member Chairman Resources section of the website at www.kappa.org. This document holds everything you need to know about your job responsibilities and job checklist. This is the first place where you should start to get a full picture of what you will be doing in your role. Please note that this leadership guide has been updated and is available for you now. If you have a printed copy from an outdated leadership guide, please throw that out and look at the new leadership guide located on the website. The new member experience guidebook is now located, as of this evening, at www.kappa.org in the New Member Chairman Resources section of our website. You must log in first to access these resources. For new member chairman, once you log on to the website, you will actually find this in your toolkit up on the upper right-hand side. The new member experience guidebooks will tell you everything you need to know to guide your new members in their first year of membership with Kappa Kappa Gamma. All of the elements are carefully outlined, organized, and scripted in our EME New Member Experience Guidebook. As the new member chairman, we are asking you to follow this guidebook step by step to ensure that you are delivering consistent content to your new members. This document holds everything you need to take you from the all-chapter orientation to bid day, formal pledging, all new member meetings, your one-on-one conference, inspiration period introduction, post-initiation ritual review, and new member experience meetings which take place after initiation. This guidebook also provides activity ideas, icebreakers and games, appropriate song suggestions, and much more. Within the next 3 days, I am actually asking each of you to please access your guidebook by, again, logging into www.capa.org/members. Then you'll go to More Resources, and then Chapter New Member Chairman Resources. For the new member chairman themselves, as I mentioned, these will also be located in your top topics when you log in. Please print out this guidebook and read it to begin your planning. Along with this guidebook, you will also find a new member chairman planning form, which will help you follow a checklist and ensure you schedule everything you need on the chapter calendar. This planning form is also located in the new member chairman resource section. Every university and college campus has different timeline rules for new member programming, from formal pledging leading to initiation. Typically, most chapters adhere to a 6 or 8 week schedule. In your guidebook, and here today, we have provided both a 6-week and 8-week required programming outline. This has not changed in any way. This is still the same as it has been in past years. Kappa Kappa Gamma still expects each chapter to initiate all new members within 6 to 8 weeks. If your chapter falls outside the 6 or 8 week model due to university or campus requirements, you must contact the membership director for guidance on your required schedule. The programming contained within the 6-week or 8-week schedule is required for all new members and must be completed. All online new member courses must be completed prior to initiation. So let's take a minute and walk through the 6-week schedule and talk more specifically about each element. First at the top, you will see chapter orientation. So this meeting must occur prior to bid day with your entire chapter. The new member chairman and her committee are the chapter officers responsible for facilitating this meeting. This is where you remind all members about the hazing policy and the role of the big sister. Next, you see on week 1, bid day. The new member chairman and her committee, the president, risk management chairman, and advisor chaperone are all involved in the planning and running of bid day. Please note that if any portion of this event is held away from the campus or the chapter facility, an EPF form must be submitted. No men and no alcohol are associated in any way with this event. Many activity ideas are provided in your guidebook. Remember, the quality of the activity chosen is what counts, not the amount of money that is spent. There are many low-cost activity ideas. Also in week 1, you'll see formal pledging. Formal pledging still must occur within 1 week of bid day. The new member chairman, president, treasurer, VPS, and marshal are all involved in making this event a success. Don't forget that this is the time when new members receive their new keepsake book, Aspirations. This serves as a wonderful gift for your new members. Very important to note. Please note that it is absolutely critical for the registrar to enter in all your new members into key reports immediately after formal pledging. Your new members cannot access their online courses in the EME online portal until they have been entered into key reports. Logging into the Kappa website and updated their profile, completed their emergency form, and signed the membership commitment statement. So all of this hinges on the registrar entering the new members into key reports. Please help your registrar out by reminding her how important her role is with this process. Next, you'll see at week 2, the new member meeting 1. This meeting is focused on introducing new members to Every Member Education, just as you're getting an introduction tonight, and the beginning of their membership journey with Kappa Kappa Gamma. The president, new member chairman, and her committee are responsible for planning and delivering this session. At the end of the first meeting, you will provide new members with the due date of their first online course assignments, Fraternity History and Organization, and Finance and Facility. Week number 2, the new member online course assignments take place. New members will complete these 2 online courses, Fraternity History and Organization, and Finance and Facility. Each of these two courses should take no more than 15 to 20 minutes each, for a total of 40 minutes of online coursework this week. During week 3, you will be holding your new member meeting 2. This new member meeting will focus on reinforcing and answering questions about the online courses they just took, Finance and Facility and Fraternity History. In addition, specific information will be provided about chapter-specific history and specific chapter financial obligations and expectations. The new member chairman, registrar, corresponding secretary, treasurer, House chairman, and the House committee are all involved in this meeting. During week 3, your new members will take their second set of online courses. New members will complete the courses on risk management and standards. Each of these 2 courses should take no more than 15 to 20 minutes each for a total of 40 minutes of online coursework this week. During week 4, you will hold your new member meeting 3. This meeting focuses on risk management and standards, which they just took in their online courses. The new member chairman and her committee, VPS, president, and risk management chairman are all involved in the planning and presentation of this in-person meeting. During this meeting, you will review some of the key points from the risk management and standards online courses, answer questions, and provide any chapter and campus-specific information about this topic. At the end of this meeting, you will provide new members with their next online course assignment, which will be Academic Excellence, Philanthropy, and Sexual Assault Prevention through Not Anymore. Please note that any new members will receive a separate invitation to take the sexual assault program, since this is not actually housed in our EME, but is housed directly through the Not Anymore website. During week 4, your new members will take their third set of online courses. As I mentioned, this week, the online courses are Academic Excellence, Philanthropy, and Sexual Assault. These courses should take approximately 15 to 25 minutes each for no more than 60 total minutes of online course time. During weeks 2 to 4, you will be holding your one-on-one conferences. These one-on-one conferences are run by members of the Standards or Academic Excellence Committee. The new member chairman is responsible for making sure each new member is scheduled and attends a one-on-one conference with one member of the Standards or Academic Excellence Committee. The new member chairman does not actually participate in this meeting. They are just responsible for ensuring that new members are scheduled and attend these meetings. These one-on-one conferences should last for approximately 5 to 6 minutes. This is a wonderful time to touch base with your new members, review initiation requirements, facts of membership, and provide an opportunity for new members to ask questions. During week 5, you will be holding your new member meeting 4. This meeting focuses on reviewing the online courses of Academic Excellence, Philanthropy, and Sexual Assault Prevention. The new member chairman, VPAE, Philanthropy chairman, Education chairman, and VPS are all involved in preparing and facilitating this meeting. During this meeting, you will also be talking about your campus and chapter-specific information about academic excellence and philanthropy. During weeks 4 to 5, you will hold your new member retreat. This is the same. The goal of the new member retreat is to strengthen the bonds of sisterhood and friendship. The new member chairman and her committee plan this retreat in collaboration with the president, risk management chairman, and advisors and chaperones. No alcohol is to be served in conjunction with this retreat, and any activity that may be construed as hazing is prohibited. If the retreat takes place overnight, a chaperone is required. During week 2 to 5 is your big little reveal. Each chapter plans, organizes, and reveals their big sister, little sister pairings at different times and in different ways. Please emphasize with your chapter that big sister should understand that she is not only committing to be a mentor to her little sister during her collegiate years, but also for life. Week 6 is your inspiration period. During the inspiration period, the VPS, Marshall, new member chairman, standards committee, and ritual committee will conduct an inspirational period introduction meeting. During this time, new members learn about the significance of fraternity ritual as the common bond among all members. During this meeting, new members will turn to a back page in their aspirations keepsake book and actually write a letter to themselves as a senior that will be opened up during programming during their senior year. During week 6 is initiation. This is not changed in any way. After initiation, you will conduct post-initiation ritual review. Ritual review takes place shortly after initiation. Please note, non-initiated members are not allowed to attend this meeting. New member chairman and her committee, Marshall, VPS, and president are all responsible for the running of this review. This is a great time for new members to understand the meaning and significance behind the initiation ceremony and other Kappa rituals. All right, and this is week 8 schedule. And as you can see, it looks very similar to the 6-week schedule. Things are just a little elongated towards the weeks 4 to 8, which is spreading things out more towards the end and with a little more of a relaxed pace. Please remember that if, based on university and college requirements, your chapter falls outside the recommended 6 to 8 week schedule from formal pledging to initiation, you must obtain permission from the membership director. So just follow the script. Here is a sample of what a facilitator script will look like in your new member experience guidebook. Each facilitator script is divided into 4 columns outlining time, activity, persons responsible, and materials and additional information. If it is bolded, you say it. If it is italicized, you do it. At the start of each facilitator script, you will see the following. Each script is preceded by key points you need to know. This will include a synopsis of which officers are responsible. These are the people that need to be involved with this presentation, whether that is to be there to answer questions or actually deliver a part of the presentation. This also talks about outcomes. It tells you what the goals of this presentation are and what your participants are expected to learn. It also orients you, aligns you with the Every Member Education pillar of education. Each presentation will be noted as to which pillar of education within it fits. As you can see, some presentations fit within multiple pillars of education. The time will tell you how long to plan or anticipate the presentation taking. And finally, materials. This section will tell you what you need to bring, use, plan, make copies, etc. As I've mentioned several times, new members will participate in a combination of 7 online educational courses and a series of in-person new member meetings with your with you as a new member chairman and your officers. Each of the new member meetings will involve a slight review of the online content they've done and address chapter and campus-specific information. New members will receive an invitation to visit the Every Member Education online portal, the EME, and to take these 7 online courses. These courses are Finance and Facilities, Risk Management, Standards, Academic Excellence, Philanthropy, and Sexual Assault Prevention. As the new member chairman, you will have access to specific reports that will tell you if your new members have completed their coursework. New members are expected to complete their required courses prior to the in-person meeting in which this content will be discussed. Please refer to the appendix of your guidebook for more specific instructions on how to access your reports in the EME and additional expectations with monitoring the progress and completion of these online courses for your new members. Please make sure to send your new members reminders about completing their coursework on time each week. Once your new members enter the EME, they will receive once the new members are entered into the key reports by your registrar, they will receive an introduction email that will ask them to update their profile, sign their member commitment statement, and begin their online courses. New members will be able to easily see their assigned courses in the EME. They'll see their course progress, be able to bookmark so that they won't have to complete a course all in one sitting, and they will be notified when they have completed all of their required courses. The EME will not be launched until later next week, but during that time, once it is launched, you will be able to get in and see exactly the courses that your new members will be taking. The online courses are designed to be engaging, to the point, filled with information your new members need to know, and fun. These courses are in short bites, with most of them landing about 15 to 20 minutes in length. As I mentioned earlier, part of your responsibility as new member chairman will be to monitor the online course progress of your new members, provide them reminders to complete these courses before their corresponding new member meetings, and remind new members how critical it is for them to complete these courses before initiation. You will have access to reports, just like you see on the screen, that provides you information about the new member name, the course they've taken, their course progress, have they started it, have they completed it. Please note that this year it is not a requirement for initiation. However, moving forward next year, completion of these online courses will become a requirement for initiation permission. Monitoring the progress of your new members should be easy. Once you are logged into our website, you will visit the EME online portal and follow the instructions provided in the appendix of your new member experience guidebook. So as with everything technology, we operate under the assumption that while we strive for perfection, things are bound to fail. Things might go wrong. So above all else, we want the new member experience and the changes we have made to be easy, non-stressful, and flexible. We fully anticipate that things may not go exactly right with the launch of our EME online portal. We fully anticipate that something could go wrong and new members might have problems getting into their online courses, or you as new member chairman may have difficulties accessing your report. As Kappa women, we know you all possess the wonderful qualities of grace, flexibility, and creativity. You are all a part of this new adventure, and we will be leaning on you to share with us what works, what doesn't work, where we've excelled, and where we've fallen short. We ask that you go along with us for this ride, knowing that while we all have the same roadmap, we may each find some potholes along the way. When you run into problems, please reach out to us at kkhq@kkg.org so that we can find you the help you need to resolve whatever problems you might be having. At the end of the day, remember, we are here to help you, and at no point do we ever want to make this stressful or overwhelming. New member chairman, we also ask that you please share this same message with your new members and help them understand that if things don't go right, that it is not to be a cause for any stress, worry, or concern. We will walk through that with you and that journey with your new members to help ensure that everyone is able to get through their new member experience programming with ease. If it all goes as planned, as I mentioned, you will have access to the EME online learning portal starting next week. I encourage you to go into the system once this happens and take these new member courses so that you are familiar with the content so that you can reinforce this in your new member meeting. Again, I want to stress how important it is for you as the new member chairman to take the same courses that your new members will be taking so you understand the content that they will be seeing. The EME will also be accessible to all chapter officers, advisors, and official family. A notice will go out via email to all parties involved once the EME is launched next week. If for any reason this date changes or next week changes due to the timeline launch, this will also be communicated with you. After initiation, new members will receive an invitation to take the New Member Experience online capstone course. This is different from the required online courses prior to initiation. This is an optional, self-directed, and self-paced tool to help new members assess their strengths and challenges and how to utilize them within their chapter experience. The new member chairman is also responsible for scheduling and planning an additional 2 new member experience meetings to further develop and build relationships with the newly initiated members. These meetings should be scheduled in the semester following initiation and before the end of their first year of membership with Kappa Kappa Gamma. Ideas for these meetings can be found in the appendix of your guidebook. These meetings should meet the following goals: build a strong sense of sisterhood, touch base to find out how the new member experience is going, and address any questions. Please note, this is a change to what has been done in the past. We are asking that beyond initiation and the post-initiation ritual review, that new member chairmen hold an additional 2 new member experience meetings in the semester after initiation before the end of their first year of membership. And now at this time, I would like to take a few minutes for people to reach out and ask any questions that you might have. You can ask questions by going over to your right-hand side of the dashboard and typing in your question in the question panel. All right, the first question that I have coming in is, will advisors have access to take the new member education online courses as well? Absolutely, these will be open to advisors as well, all chapter officers and new members, as well as select members of official families such as council, district directors, specialists, content directors, and I hope I'm including everybody that I know as part of the new structure. But yes, it will be available for all of you to take those courses. Next question I see is, under the new member resources, I see the new member experiences form. Do we need to take and replace our old new member program for the fall with this new one because of the addition of the online courses? Yes. For new member chairmen, please visit your resource section on the website. All of your forms, including the chapter supplement, that programming form, the guidebook, and your leadership guide have all been outlined with the new information that you will need to see through the new member experience with the online courses, as well as the changes to those new member meetings. Great question. All right, just scrolling through my questions here. Okay. All right, so the next question is, so if I already have all of my new member meetings planned out and the officers presenting each week don't correspond with the online course for that week, do I need to change the schedule of which officers present when? Yes, please follow the new schedule, and we do acknowledge and appreciate that some of you have done some planning and some scheduling prior to this. And we apologize for any changes that you're having to make, but we do ask, if at all possible, that you make those adjustments so that you can match with the new programming requirements. Great question, thank you. All right, another wonderful question. My chapter is really big. Will this work for me? Yes, in fact, I will tell you that I think for large chapters in particular, this is going to work especially well for you. The online courses covers that really critical fraternity-wide information consistent content message. And your in-person new member meetings, which you've held in the past, now will be more streamlined and easier to focus on those chapter campus-specific information, and will move a lot more quickly. So I think you will find with large chapters, this actually is more efficient and more successful for you and your new members. If you have any questions at all, please contact the membership director or Caroline and Libby with chapter services at CAPA headquarters. All right, under the new member resources, I see, oh, okay, that was one of the questions I just answered. Will new members be able to complete all of the online courses at once, or will I have to give them access to each one? Great question as well. Your new members will receive their introduction email, which gives them access to their courses. They will have access to all of their online courses all at once. If you have a gung-ho new member who wants to sit down and in one day complete all of her online courses, she will be able to do that. It is absolutely not required of her, nor should it be asked of her, but she will have access to all of them. It will not be up to the new member chairman to actually serve those courses up. That is done automatically through our EME online system. It will be your responsibility, however, to just ensure that she is taking those online courses that correspond with those new member meetings before she goes to that in-person meeting with you and the other chapter officers. So you'll just want to provide her reminders and get those things on her calendar so she understands those deadlines for getting those courses complete. At the end of the day, it's most critical that she finishes those courses prior to initiation. Great questions. Okay, the question just came in, will the EME be available for actives or just officers? It will be available right now. We are launching just the new member training. In the future, yes, the EME will be open to all active members as well as alumni members. There will be online courses for everyone as part of every member education. In the future, we will also have expanded officer training available, but that will be in the future. So this fall, we're just focusing on that new member online courses. Okay, question came in, are there changes regarding the chapter supplement as well? Yes, there are some changes in the chapter supplement, not many, but there is an updated chapter supplement that is in your resources section. Great. And Libby and Caroline, I know you're both on. If you have any additional things to add as I'm answering these questions, please feel free to chime in.
Sure, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to add about the supplement. Like Marla said, there aren't many changes. I know we had one new member chairman write in last week, I believe, about some of the difficulties she was having using the supplement. I've had her test our new one just to make sure it's up and running, and she said it's looking great. So definitely go and look at that if you have had any issues. But on that supplement, the only big things that have been changed are the important new member experience information. On page 15, it's right before Kappa Songs. And we've also updated a couple things for the new structure as well. So where it said something about province director and regional director, we've changed it to your district director, or no, excuse me, about your province and your region. It's been updated to just reflect whatever your district now is.
Perfect. Thank you, Caroline. I have another question here that says, after the first year, are there any additional meetings for middle members? Also a wonderful question. Not at this time, but that is part of our future development for every member education. Our next focuses will be on middle members and our senior collegiate members, and then moving towards alumni specific education for the every member education. Okay, the next question is, can advisors get into report to track the new member classes? That is a great question, and I actually will need to look into that. I know right now for our launch, it will be just the new member chairman who will have access to that. I also do understand and see a need that that could be helpful for advisors as well. So I will look into that and communicate that information back out to advisors once I have that answer. So thank you for that question. The question is, did all advisors get an invitation to take this webinar? I am the membership advisor. I have enjoyed this webinar, but was just checking to see if all advisors were to take this course. I do know that advisors were invited to these to the webinar tonight and tomorrow night for our first batch of initiating chapters. So if there's an advisor for, all advisors for those first batch of recruiting chapters, not initiating, recruiting chapters, all those advisors were invited to this webinar. Okay. Oh, that's a great question. Can you let us know some of the reasoning and hopes behind these changes? Absolutely. So I can share with you just a little bit about the background with this. You know, CAPA has been receiving feedback for a number of years, very specifically from chapters, asking for more guidance and more direction regarding the education of their members. We've also heard feedback and really noted it to be true that as an organization, we tended to focus on new member time between formal pledging and initiation, and then not again with a focus really until the senior year. And we know that a lot of groups have found great success with creating all member programming, you know, new member programming, senior member programming, focusing their educational programming more specifically to the developmental needs of each of the stages of membership, both with our collegiate members as well as our alumni members. And so our hope with developing every member education is not only to meet the educational needs where each individual is at each stage of her membership, but also to help provide guidance, particularly for chapters, but also for alumni members, in guiding education and providing more of a direction of what specifically the fraternity would like the chapters to be focusing on with their members, providing true scripts that can be used that still have flexibility and creativity and engagement, but actually providing those things to our chapter members. The other piece of this is coupling those in-person, very valuable meetings and educational opportunities that happen on the chapter level, local level, but also pairing those with online courses that can deliver consistency of messages and consistency of information. Our hope is that through those online programs that are engaging, are relevant, valuable, worth individuals' time to take, that messaging and that content can really help to develop our members and help educate them more on some of those key critical issues. So that's some of the reasoning and the hopes behind these changes. And then one last comment about that. The change in not looking at it as a new member period, just that 6 to 8 week time, and expanding this to be a new member experience really helps this organization and our chapters cater more to the idea that we are constantly developing our members, that once a member is initiated, it doesn't mean that she still doesn't deserve that same attention and focus, and also further education about what her membership involves. Absolutely, when they are a member of the organization, but it doesn't mean that there shouldn't be continued education, particularly through that first year of membership as she's developing her relationship with the fraternity and the chapter and understanding where she belongs within the organization and how she can use her strengths and her values to lend itself and benefit and aid the growth of this wonderful organization. Great question. I could probably talk about that all night. All right, next question. Will unhoused chapters and housed chapters be presented the same information in the finance and facility presentation? So, for the online course, all of the information that is in the online finance and facility course is relevant to all members, whether they are housed or unhoused, Canadian or American. There is actually information in there that addresses both Canadian information as well as U.S. information. The in-person new member meetings is where you will talk about more of those specifics for housed chapters and your housed chapter in particular, and your campus and chapter specific information. All right, when do we need to have the new experience programming planning forms in? Caroline and Libby, I'm going to leave that to you to answer that. I'm not familiar with when those forms are specifically due.
Yeah, so the planning form, typically, just so you know, it's due May 1st before fall recruitment. Obviously, we've had a slight change. So go ahead and just fill it out. You'll probably keep those dates pretty similar. It also says on there that it'll go to your new member advisor and your district programming specialist. So on top of having this enhanced new member experience, we also have a new structure in place. So if any of you all are having a hard time finding out who your district programming specialist is, just go to Key Reports, and on Key Reports, if you scroll down in the left-hand bottom corner, there's going to be a box with all of your specialists, so you can go in, you'll actually just be able to click on that person's name, and it'll set up an email straight to her. The report is just due 2 weeks after initiation, so there are those two documents, and that one just sums up what you all did throughout the new member experience and gives a recap, just so we know what's going on with you all, and we can also get some feedback from you. There's a question on there about the new member experience, and if you have any suggestions for it. So I hope that answers that question.
Great, thanks, Caroline. Next question is, during what weeks after initiation would you recommend doing the new member experience meeting? So we actually ask that those additional 2 new member experience meetings occur in the semester after initiation. So if you initiate in the fall, then those 2 new member experience meetings, those additional ones after initiation, will occur in your winter/spring semester. And if this group who's listening today is the fall, but if you were a spring initiation chapter, then you would be doing those 2 new member experience meetings in the fall/early winter time. So it's the semester following initiation. Okay, great. Oh, good question. Because these courses are not required to initiate this year, are there any repercussions for girls that don't finish the courses? No, there are not. There are no repercussions whatsoever. We do ask that you impress upon them the importance of taking these courses, because it will be, if you don't take the online courses, when you attend the new member meetings that are facilitated by you as a new member chairman and the chapter officers, they're going to be fairly lost as to what you're talking about. Also, too, knowing that information is very critical as part of their membership, their successful membership. So, but there are no repercussions if they do not take those. We do ask, though, that even if you have a new member that hasn't completed those courses prior to initiation, that you continue to encourage her to get those courses completed. Okay, great. I keep saying great questions, but these are all great questions. Thank you for sending these in. Our recruitment is in 1 week. How are we supposed to implement this so quickly? You won't. So this is why if you fall outside the 6 or 8 week standard outline between formal pledging and initiation, you need to contact the membership director. She will guide you on what to do first, in what order before initiation, and then what will be completed after initiation. The same will occur in the years when courses are required. There will be exceptions made and adjustments made specifically for chapters that fall outside that 6 to 8 weeks. Do not feel this all needs to be crammed in, and absolutely shouldn't be all crammed in. So the membership director will help assist you creating a plan that will work for you and your new members.
Mara, I just wanted to hop on. This is Libby.
Yes.
I think part of that question is the concern of they're starting preparation for recruitment next week, and just time has basically run out for that chapter. So just do the best you can. Again, this is not perfect, so don't stress about it. Like it's, you know, like Marla has said, it's structure on what we already had before. So just enhance. So just really, it's not huge changes, but really just do the best you can. I realize that time is limited for you, but we're also here to help you. So please reach out if you need that. So.
Yeah. Remember the meme. Remember the minion. You know, we're not worried about perfection, and we're here to help guide you. And this is intended to help make things easier for you, certainly not stressful. How do I encourage new members to complete the online courses if they aren't mandatory for initiation? Any suggestions? You know, I think it's all about how you approach it, and Caroline and Libby, I think you might be able to offer suggestions with this as well. But you have new members who I hope that they are eager and interested to learn more about this organization that they are joining. And if you talk with them about the fact that these online courses will help them be a better member, that it will help give them that information they need to really be able to be successful in their membership, that is one way. I think encouragement goes a long way. You know, I don't know what Caroline and Libby feel about something about, you know, offer, you know, I don't know, first person to complete the course, you know, get one of their leftover T-shirts from something that just occurred last semester. I don't know if that's appropriate or not. Libby and Caroline, you might be able to offer.
Sure.
Well, the other big thing with it as well, remind them if they are coming, which they are going to be coming to their new member meetings, is reminding them if they're coming unprepared, they're not going to understand what is being discussed. And the big thing about this new member experience is that the online courses are designed to talk about the overall, the fraternity stance on risk management and standards and things like that. These new member meetings are going to be more focused on what is specific to your chapter and answer any questions. So obviously, finance and facility is going to look different for every chapter. So remind them that this is really a part of their education. So if they're coming to meetings unprepared, they're going to be completely clueless. And the other thing as well is just don't say, you know, this isn't mandatory. Just, you know, say part of your education is these online courses. I think that if you set it up saying this isn't mandatory, you don't have to do it, the women aren't going to do it. So just really be sure to just focus on your education is going to encompass this. I know as well it's going to help get your chapter in the rhythm of having new members go through these courses, so it's not as much of a shock.
Also, if someone is really pushing back, perhaps maybe it's a bigger conversation of if they're ready to be committed to being a member of CAPA. Hopefully these women coming in are super excited about wanting to learn about CAPA, so let's hope that's a conversation you don't have to have.
Great. Good ideas. I love that.
Oh, and actually, one other thing to include as well, make sure to give your chapter an update that these changes are occurring and that there will be some different layouts for the new member program, but encourage them to be positive and on board with it. If they're talking about, oh, well, this is what we did last year, then the new members are going to be really confused. Remember, they're coming in and they have no idea what to expect. So if you set up the new member experience as, you know, this is it, this is our experience, this is what our programming is, then they're going to just go along with it. So remember that as well. They're a blank slate. They have no idea what to expect.
Great comments, great answers. There's also another question, if you COB, do you do the same program? And so I think Libby and Caroline can also address this, but I know that already in the past when you COB'd, you had to adjust what you did for new members based on what you were able to do and within the time frame you had. we still do want every new member to take these online courses, and we want them to receive your chapter and campus-specific information. We do acknowledge, though, that you may have to make adjustments because you're doing it a little bit differently than you would during a typical recruitment time. So Caroline and Libby, if you have any additional comments about that. I know that the membership director will help guide you in that. So do you have any additional suggestions with that?
Yeah, I think with that, it's sort of the same thing as well. It's just a matter of you setting expectations and also understanding that some things might have to be condensed into shorter sessions, so or over a shorter time period. So if you have, if you still be a week or 2 weeks after and you're on that 6-week program, just know that you might be catching your new members up. So see where you are in the calendar. So looking at it right now, you know, if it's like if you're getting them in on week 2, then you might have to sit down and try to catch them up on things like risk management and standards in finance and facilities, so that you can then get them in for academic excellence, philanthropy, and things like that. So it might be setting aside an extra meeting time just for them and the officers who are involved in those meetings, but then also just encouraging them to catch up with their online programming as well.
I have a question from Molly Giles, G-I-L-E-S. Molly, I think what I would like to do, to help you with your question and just kind of help you with the short planning you have, if you can email us at, actually email me, Marla Williams, at education@kkg.org. I'll be able to get you to the individuals you need to assist you just within the time frame that you've got going on for you. So I just wanted to address that, but not take that up with the entire group. So. All right. Still some more questions. Are the new member meetings mandatory? I thought they weren't. Caroline and Libby, can you address that question?
Yes, so just like your new member meetings are mandatory in the former new member program, you're going to have them mandatory for the new member experience. And the big thing with this is it's their weekly check-in to just have time as new members, so it's that safe space to grow their sisterhood, ask questions, and really just bond together as a group. So as I'm sure you all know, usually in the old new member program there was a presentation every week. It'll be the exact same thing with this layout. So you'll just want to, or excuse me, when you have those new member meetings, it's the exact same thing of being mandatory. So those will be mandatory. I think right now it's more, the thing that is not mandatory is finishing those online courses. But once again, those are still highly encouraged as they supplement those meetings.
That's great. Question is, can new members work together on the online courses, or should they be completed individually? They are designed to be completed individually, and the only way the new member chairman can really ensure that that individual took that course is if the individual takes it. However, if you want to have a, host a, gathering in the commons room and everybody brings their devices and their laptops and wants to sit down and take the courses together, I think that's great. We just want to have each individual do it through their own online experience so that they can get credit for that, so the new member chairman can keep track of it. All right. We are at the end of our questions. We are also at 9:33, and I actually told you it would be no longer than an hour. So Caroline and Libby, do you have any additional comments before we close out tonight?
Yeah, really y'all, I know that this is a huge change, especially I'm sure a lot of the women on this call are coming from some of our larger chapters where recruitment is huge and drawn out. Remember, this doesn't need to be fully prepared and ready until midday and even after. So really take it one step at a time. Look at some of those earlier meetings. Obviously, not a whole lot's going to change with midday. Your themes and what you've planned are going to be pretty similar.
And remember, this program, excuse me, this experience is really meant to help you all out to make it a little bit simpler. So your officers aren't having to prepare crazy presentations. I know when I traveled as an LC, the feedback I constantly got is the presentations aren't great, they're not engaging, and I think that this is going to be something that really helps draw your new members in. So don't worry, not much has changed. It might be a little bit of moving around, but I promise it'll go smoothly, and we are here for you every step of the way if you have any questions.
Wonderful. Thanks, Caroline and Libby, for joining us tonight. Thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your busy schedule for joining us for this webinar tonight. Again, please reach out if you have any questions at all. You can see the email address at the end of this presentation, education@kkg.org. We will get you directed to the help that you need. And thank you again. Have a wonderful evening and a great end to your week. Bye-bye.
Good luck on recruitment.
Good luck. Bye.